Hey YouTube, Mark Coffman here, and today I want to talk about the Spyderco double stuff. Now, first off the bat, if you're wondering where I got this slip, I've already done a video on pocket slips and why they're important, and I do put in the information of where to get this. Now, I actually had this custom made, but you can have one also from the maker that made it. So go check that video out and give that seller some love and have him make you some leather products. First off, I want to tell you, yeah, this is fantastic and only cost me about 20 bucks. So, and it's really thick, good leather. Go check out that video. So I want to talk about the Spyderco double stuff, a few things I like, a few things I don't like about it, and why I bought it, and actually why I am currently having shipped to me the fine side right now. So let's start. Why did I buy it? It's convenient. It's very convenient in its size and in its compactness. Spyderco does make a medium pocket ceramic stone. I've had that, but it's way too small for me, at least, to use sufficiently to sharpen up a blade. Now, what I've got laying around here, if you're carrying something like this, that smaller stone is more than sufficient for sharpening this blade. But for something bigger, it just didn't make the cut. Then I wanted a stone that would be pocketable, would be able to fit in a backpack or a pack, that would be able to do some serious work while also not needing to be lapped. So there we go. That's why I bought it. I'm gonna first, well, let's talk about why I am ordering the fine side. So Spyderco actually makes, and you know what, my dumb self, let's actually get this stone out so you can see what it is. This is the fine and this is the medium. I personally wanted the medium because I've heard that the ceramic medium side will actually dish after a series of uses. And I'm talking years and years of use. I haven't seen it, but it's enough for me to know, okay, I don't want to have to deal with this when it does dish out. This white ceramic side, I haven't, in my research at least, heard or seen these actually dish. And I do know that they are a different ceramic compound. The ultra fine and the fine are the same ceramic compound, they just get finished differently to achieve the fine and ultra fine. So the reason why I actually bought the fine is because I didn't want to have to deal with this dishing out later in my ownership of this item. So I'll probably, and plus it'll be thinner, it won't be as thick or as heavy. This isn't heavy, but I mean, it takes up a little bit of room. So I'm probably gonna have the gentleman that made this for me make me another one for the fine side, and I'll probably keep the fine in my car. Just for touch-ups. If I am someplace and I need to touch up my knife, I can just go to my car and have a quick sharpen. The fine does a wonderful job in doing that, and you can even apply a little more pressure to achieve some more cutting power. So that's the reason why I'm getting the fine side, is just I don't want to have to worry about that. Let's talk about what I do and don't like about this stone. It's ceramic, but what I don't like about it is it's not perfectly flat. In my use, at least, when I actually clean this off and start sharpening a stone, and I start here and I go down and end at my sharpening point, the first points of contact are the edges. Now, I don't know if Spyderco does this on purpose to have this dished a little lower and expecting this to eventually meet the middle, but for me, it requires my attention to actually meet in the middle of the stone to achieve a more refined sharpening angle or a refined edge. So that's one thing I don't like, is it's not perfectly flat. Now for the money, I mean, I don't expect it, but okay. So let me close this since I'm not using it and put it away. And the other thing I don't really like, the edges here are not, you can see this sticking up here. The edges on this are not perfectly done. And this actually really hinders this ceramic stone. The white one actually doesn't have that problem, and that's the other reason why I'm buying the fine, is because these are actually rounded off and I find use for that. And the fine is also thinner, which would allow for this kind of sharpening if you wanted to do it. You could just set it and then go down like this, but if I did this, I'm hitting two different grit sides. Grit, my mind is brain farting. Different grits, there we go, whatever. If I do it that way, it's hitting. Now if I do it this way, it's fine, but the thing that I want to do is I want to be able to hold it like this and just do that kind of sharpening. And I don't really want to have two different grits. So there's that. The edges here are not perfectly done or finished, and then it will be thinner if I just get the fine side. So there's that. The other thing is this does not clean off completely. I have used this a little bit, but when I use Barkeeper's Friend or Bartender's Friend, this does not completely clean. This does. It goes to pearly white, perfect. Wonderful. That's the other reason why I'm getting the fine, is I like that this can be completely cleaned versus this not. The thing that I don't like is that this is actually, and this hinders the sharpening, this is actually put together with like a resin or a glue that really adheres well to ceramics. And the thing that I don't like is they're not perfectly matched on the edges. And then also, and I don't know if I can get it here, but there's pretty, you can see that gap there between the stones. There's some gapping. And what that actually has done, when I place this down on a surface that's flat, and I'm wanting a flat surface to keep my angle, and I know this is getting like really nitpicky. I mean, most people are just gonna sharp up, and you're done. But let's say you are one of those people that are very nitpicky and have to have a flat surface. This isn't gonna do it. You're gonna have one side of the stone that's a little further up and the other side maybe a little further up, and it may affect your sharpening angle. So not really crazy about that. The other thing I don't like is the slip. This is suede, and I mean, it's great, but if you're keeping it with other oily stones or stones that may have absorbed oil and may let go of that oil by being stationary, this is going to absorb that. And I actually have found that the oils that I have had come off of other stones seep into this and then go onto the ceramic, and I don't want the ceramic to absorb any oils. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I'm probably gonna use this for some other tool, maybe put my watchmaker tweezers in it. I mean, I haven't really decided. I may just put my tweezers in it. I'm not sure, but I had to upgrade this. So I had a gentleman make me this slip here, and I'm going to have him make me another for my fine side, but it also, having this thicker, heavier duty leather slip allows for more protection. This is too malleable and too thin, I would say, to actually give sufficient protection with a bunch of other tools or in a pack or anything like that. Or if you drop this, this is going to protect it more than this would. Especially, let's say you were hiking and this fell on some gravel, I'm probably going to guarantee you it would crack versus this. This is much thicker, much more rigid, and much better quality than, I mean, this is pretty great, but it's not this level. So those are the things I don't like. What do I like about it though, and why do I still use it? It's so convenient. the size of this stone and the strength and what it offers the user is fantastic. I mean, I can hold a stone here, and I am really not trying here, but you can really sharpen up a blade rather quickly, or even just touch up a blade in moments with these stones, and they do cut. I mean, I know that this fine stone is probably about 1200 grit equivalent, but it cuts. It really does cut. And if you were actually going to be using this for sharpening in the field, I would probably take this over a soft Arkansas. Now, the other reason why I really like this is because, and that is very sharp. You can see where I've touched this up, the small apex that I've made on this blade. It does do the job. The other reason why I would think somebody would want this, and why I actually use it, is to do a micro bevel. On your knives, sometimes you may want to have a micro bevel. So you have your stationary bevel, and then you have another bevel, which is a micro bevel. And those can be bigger or smaller. I prefer very small micro bevels, but I do incorporate them into my knives. And they do allow you to, instead of re-apexing your knife, they allow you to maybe just touch up your edge. You may have a perfectly straight edge with no chips, but it may be a little dull. A micro bevel can quickly bring that edge back, and that's what I really use these for. But if I really had to, the real big plus side is if I really had to, I can re-apex a blade. I can resharpen a dull blade with this medium side. Now, I am aware that they do make a double stuff 2, which has I think it's a synthetic sapphire compound on one side, and then it has the fine. And I'm not doing heavy duty sharpening enough to incorporate something like that and also wear out. So this is more practical for me than the double stuff 2, and I am also aware that the double stuff 2 is actually set at a kilter angle. So then each one of these stones actually have a little bit of a triangular point and are not overlapping each other, which would allow you in effect to sharpen your serrated edges. You could just do this with your serrated edge, and I've even seen people, I don't really do this for serrated knives because it sometimes eats up the teeth, but they sometimes just take it across the edge of the stone, and I don't really believe in that. I think you should go each tooth, and it will re-apex it, will also recondition the shape of the tooth, and will also get a better cutting performance instead of rounding the teeth, because the teeth are actually what is going to be doing the eating into the material. A little bit about my sharpening, but other than that, I mean, that is the double stuff. I am not going to do a demonstration video. I've already done a sharpening demonstration, and really the way I sharpen corresponds to how I sharpen on this as well. And I just start here. Now, the downside is how thin it is. I mean, you do kind of have to prop it up on multiple things, like 2 slips, and then I just start back and forth, and I actually am able to get a more consistent angle because I just put my finger here, and I just let my finger keep track of my angle, and then this arm just pulls back and forth. I know that a few people have mentioned that I do a convex edge if my wrist rocks, but I just haven't worked on my sharpening that much to correct that. But that's one of the great things about this, is that this is so convenient, so small, but some of the downsides is maybe the QC of the final finishing, the glued together construction, the fact that it's not stepped, so you can just have access to one of these stones, and the slip. I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't last. I mean, it won't last a lifetime. This will. So that is my review, talk about, and profession of why I like this and don't like it. It's a great tool, but in the end, I am going to just be switching over to the fine. And I'm probably going to use this in the garage and just use it for tools on the go or in a as-need basis, but I'm not going to use this as my primary sharpening. And I would probably go straight to my Spyderco bench stone for that. But I thought you guys would enjoy seeing this, seeing the slip that I had made for it, and seeing what I thought of it. I find it extremely useful for a lot of other tools and tasks. I also use it to sharpen up my watchmaker's screwdrivers. This is an incredible tool for that. And I also use it to sharpen up my tweezers. So, and it's very versatile. It won't dish out as far as the fine side, but the other side may in the future. But I've already said and talked about all that. At this point, I'm just babbling. But thank you guys again for checking out my channel and checking out my YouTube videos. And if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm trying to keep up with putting out material. I have a few things on the way from a few viewers for some fun ideas, and they want to see what I can do. So we're going to just see what's going to happen in the future. But till then, thank you guys again for joining me. And remember, wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day or night. Thank you again. Talk to you later in the next one.